Hey you guys, I am 22 Tiger Dude, and I am here to review Cosmopolis, starring Robert Pattinson and co-starring Baruchel and Paul Giamatti. And it's directed by David Cronenberg. This movie is kind of hard to explain, so I'm going to try to describe it as best I can. Robert Pattinson plays this billionaire. He's 28 years old, I believe. And he's in his limo. He travels all the way to Manhattan just to get like a very good haircut. But as he's like traveling there, he has conversations with people, stuff dealing with capitalism, the world tearing apart. They have sex themes. That's pretty much all I need to describe about this film. Now, I've heard about Cosmopolis for a while, and unfortunately it didn't come out of my theater because only Los Angeles and New York had Cosmopolis in their theaters while the rest of the states never came out. I heard from people that this was a confusing as hell film. It made no sense whatsoever. It was one of the worst films ever made. And I read comments on threads saying, oh, like literally half of the audience walked out of the movie because of how boring and confusing and horribly written it was. And just stuff like that. And I actually got to see this movie on demand to check it out. I can understand why people think this is a confusing movie, but to be honest, I did catch at least most of the situations. I was able to catch on to what happened and this and that. So really, I didn't think the movie was all that confusing. There were a few scenes I got kind of lost in, but I did actually catch most of the things in this film, so it really wasn't that confusing in my opinion. This movie has no plot. Now, I'm not a fan of Robert Pattinson, alright? I don't hate the guy. I'm not a hater. I don't think he's the best actor, though. I think he has the potential to be talented. I just don't think he's quite gone up there yet. In Cosmopolis, he was actually very good here. This has got to be the most strongest and best performance that Robert Pattinson has ever given. His character was like a three-dimensional character. The way he portrayed his character was very impressive. The movie, I'm not going to say it's good. It's interesting, but the thing that ruins my enjoyment with the film is the fact it has no plot. The film is weird. It is kind of hard to follow. But like I said, I was able to catch on to at least most of the stuff. And Baruchel, he was only in the beginning of this film. Shockingly, I thought he would have a bigger part. But no, he was only in the beginning of this film. But for the part that Jay was given, he was good here. And Paul Giamatti, not in the movie much either, and he actually doesn't really make an appearance until the last 25 to 30 minutes of the film. But he was good here for what he was given. Now, I don't like films that have no plots, alright? If a film has no plot, then that means I can't enjoy it. But there are some things I liked about the film. Other things I didn't, and I thought could have had a better direction, could have been more executed, all that stuff. But the cinematography in this movie is so beautiful. So I think the movie has really good cinematography. And then, I don't think the sex scenes were necessary. Like there was this random sex scene, and Robert Pattinson, he was having sex with this girl at a hotel, and while they're having sex, they're talking at the same time. Come on, was that really necessary? And the movie has bored me. And the thing, other than the fact that it had no plot, the other thing that really bugged me about Cosmopolis was just the fact that the ending felt unfinished. I heard this movie's based off a book, and I don't know. I just didn't like how it ended. It was kind of like The Grey. You know how The Grey, there was the ending, and when you think something else is going to happen next, it just ended? Same thing happens with Cosmopolis. I expect something else to happen next. I'm all like, okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and then it goes completely black, shows the end credits, the movie was over. And that really killed my enjoyment of the film right there. I mean, the film wasn't good from the start anyways, you know. It's an interesting film, and I appreciate the complexity it had. I admire it. This just isn't a film I could watch again. The fact that it had no plot, the fact that the ending felt unfinished, and the fact that there were a few scenes that felt unnecessary is what ruins the film. Direction could have been better, but it does have nice cinematography, strong performance by Robert Pattinson, a nice minor roles from Jay Baruchel and Paul Giamatti. All the performances in this film were good, actually. And do I recommend Cosmopolis? I don't think so. If you wanted to watch this movie, go ahead, but I'm not going to really recommend any of you go see this film, though. Unless, of course, if you're a fan of Robert Pattinson, then yeah, go ahead and watch Cosmopolis. But I do understand why there are some people that hate this film, why some people walked out of the theater watching this film. I do understand. But if you are one of those people that fully appreciates this film, then that's good too. For me, it's an interesting one-watch film. I'm going to give Cosmopolis 2 out of 4 stars.
Subscribe to me. Comment below and give me your thoughts. Like this video. Share this video. I hope you all enjoy what you've seen here. And don't forget, I have Tiger Power!